If you aren't using Anki for your study, you are seriously missing out on such easy marks in every single one of your tests. Today, I'm going to compile a course that I've already made into one long YouTube video, exactly teaching you how to use Anki. Finally, you'll achieve the marks you want because you're learning how to study properly. This whole course will go through everything you need to know. First of all, what Anki is, why it's beneficial, how to download it, how to get all the add-ons, how to make cards, how to use it, when you should use it, how you should use it, all that sort of stuff. Literally every single thing, a whole comprehensive guide is in this video. Timestamps are in the description, and everything that I mentioned are also in the description. So the link to downloading Anki, and then also the links to all the add-ons and the add-on codes that you have to download. Now, lastly, if you want to take it to the next level, Elite Achievers is my premium online community. A lot of you guys are asking, oh, I can't myself make my Anki decks, can't myself make my Anki decks. Well, guess what? If you come into Elite Achievers into the classroom, inside here, the Elite Anki decks, we have Anki decks for every single subject. You don't have to make your own Anki decks. You can download Anki, follow today's tutorial, and literally use our Anki decks for physics, chemistry, biology, HSC, every state. Use our Anki decks. Not only that, you get access to not only literally every single subject. We're teaching you every single subject, math, advanced, biology, chemistry, physics, legal studies, business studies, economics, every single subject. Literally for the price of one tutoring session per month, you get taught every single subject, daily support in the community. Now, I don't give anyone a little sneak peek, but this is what the community looks like. Daily support into every single subject. And when you have mentors literally responding to you, this is literally one of our mentors, Benji, giving essay help. You get essay help. Look at this. You don't get feedback from your teachers like that. Like once a month, you'll get feedback from your teachers on essays. We give it to you every single day inside Elite Achievers for every single subject. We teach you every single subject, and we give you done for you made Anki decks literally for $2 a day. You get taught everything. You get taught how to study because you don't, mindset, productivity, every single thing that you would need. Without further ado, let's get into the Anki tutorial. Once again, Elite Achievers, but if not, let's learn how to use Anki, and let me know how you go. Let me know in the comments. Okay, quickly before I show you how to download Anki, if you don't know what it is, you can skip this if you already know what it is and you know how it works. Sort of, if you know how it works. If you don't know what Anki is, it's a flashcard app, but it's not just a normal flashcard app. Don't ever compare it to Quizlet, please. People ask me Quizlet or Anki. Anki is very clear. It's a flashcard app that allows you to utilize both, obviously, active recall, but spaced repetition, because you can choose how long until you want to see a card again. Not only that, those two things, there's add-ons, which allow you to gamify your study, and there's so many other things. Not only that, you can also share decks. So we can, just like you can with Quizlet, but we can actually share decks with add-ons in it. So in my community, what I envision is everyone for chemistry and physics and whatever it is, whatever it might be, legal studies, law, whatever it is, they can share decks to each other and you can help each other with your study. So no gatekeeping your stuff here, guys. Not only that, but let's have a look. So basically, this is where you're going to go to get Anki. Don't worry about it yet. I'll do a full tutorial, but Anki, you can get shared decks, and not only can you learn school content and uni content, you can learn languages on here. So for example, like I can learn any of these, like heaps of languages. You can search up anything, literally anything that your heart desires. Like for example, I know Spanish, and this is people from all over the world with decks. So anything that you want to learn, you can learn on Anki. And it's literally just flashcards, and you can change, everything is customizable. It's made by coders, so it's got a very steep learning curve, but I'll teach you how to use it. And basically, it's just an insane memory tool. I noticed how well my memory started performing once I started using this app in about year 10, year 11, and it blew my mind away how much I could remember about topics. And even a year after I finished high school, I was remembering content that I'm not even doing in uni, but I did in high school. And I'm like, how do I remember this? I did it 12 months ago. And I still remember it now. So basically all this module is telling you, don't skip on this. You need to be using this. Everyone should be using this. Everyone can use it and everyone should be using it. And if you're not, I feel like you're got a massive disadvantage if you're not using it, personally. So I'm going to show you in this module how exactly to download it, how to get all the add-ons that I think you should get, how to get even more add-ons, how to make the cards, how to make the decks, how to study, how to common pitfalls, all the things you need to be doing, I will have in this module. So downloading Anki. Search up Anki. It's pretty easy. Search up Anki. This one here. Now, it is free on the laptop. It is paid on your phone. However, I have heard down the grapevine that there are free alternatives on the phone which do work and are still compatible. However, I wouldn't really recommend using it on the phone. because I think your phone should be your phone, not a place you study. You should literally just be studying on your laptop. You should have a nice study space and just focusing on studying on your laptop. So I think just go with this free computer program. So search up Anki, go here, click on the big download. You can look at all the reviews here. People, like not just students use this, guys. People that want to learn languages and all that sort of stuff. Download the one that works for you. I'm Apple Silicon, you might, whatever you're using. I think this is Windows. And I'm going to, while this loads, I've just moved out of home and the Wi-Fi is not working, so I haven't had to hotspot. While that loads there, I'm just going to, I've deleted Anki, by the way. So I've completely deleted Anki because I want to show you what it looks like starting from scratch. I've deleted all my add-ons. I've even gone to all my decks and they're here. So this is my first year of uni, my decks for the first year of uni. I can give you these decks, not that you need them because you don't go to my exact uni. I mean, if you do. If someone does Sydney Bachelor of Medical Science, let me know, I'll give you these decks. This is my HSC Anki, but see how I can export the decks. This is insane because it adds community to it. You can share your decks with each other. Don't gatekeep them. No one likes gatekeepers. Okay, cool. So once that's done, open that up, which it is here. This is just how it works on Mac. I think Windows, you have a different thing to set it up. It's the same thing, doesn't matter. Drag and drop, cool. I'm going to replace it because I've already technically got Anki downloaded. Cool, nice. Search up Anki, open it up. So it's an actual software. It's not on the App Store. It's an actual software. It's on the App Store on your phone for $40 Australian, but I wouldn't use that. Cool. This is what it's going to look like when you open it. So that's how to download it. Simple as that. That is how to download it. Next, I'm going to show you, so either do that now or you were doing that while I told you to do it. Do that now. And in the next module, I'm going to show you how to get all the add-ons and then we're going to keep going from there. Okay, getting add-ons. You don't need to understand what's happening right now. Just do what I do and then you'll understand it later. So 6 add-ons we're going to install. Again, you don't need to understand what's going on. Just bear with me here. We're going to search up Anki add-on, image occlusion. So there'll be a list of this under this video. Also just follow the video. So you can either do it with me or do it after and just look what I do. Just do it with me, it's easier. Make sure you get the same one as me as well. So image occlusion enhanced, right click on it, open a new tab just because it's easier so we don't have to keep searching up Anki add-on. So there's going to be a couple we're going to get, or 6. Progress bar, this one here, it should say visualize blah blah, fixed by Shige, whatever. There's going to be more overview stats, this one here, not the 2.1, this one. There's also going to be more, it's right under it there, more deck stats and time left. That's 4. There's going to be custom background and gear icon. That's just purely for aesthetics, just to make it look cool. And this one, the last one is going to be review heat map. So they're the 6. Now, once you've got all 6 of those, I'm going to go back over to Anki. Going to go to tools, add-ons. This is how easy it is to get add-ons, which is why it's so addictive. Please stick with just these 6. Any more that you get, make sure it's purely for aesthetics. Don't do anything more for performance. You don't need anything more. A lot of the girls like getting there's one where every time you get an answer right, it's crazy. It'll meow at you. There'll be a cat meowing sound effect, which the girls love. So a lot of the girls that I've taught this have do that sort of stuff. I'm sure there's some sort of one like that for dude. Okay, my video cut out there for a bit, but we're back. Okay, so yeah, there's all different add-ons you can get. There's cat ones that you can make your background whatever you want. That's one we've gotten. There's ones that give you a motivational message after 5 correct answers or 5 cards. There's so many different things you can get, but just stick with these 6. So go to Anki, go here and get add-ons, and then press that, and then scroll down for each one. Go to the code, Command C on Mac, copy it, press OK. That's it. That's how easy it is to get your add-on. So it will say restart Anki to apply changes. You don't need to do that. You do need to do it, but you don't need to do it until you get all 6. You don't need to restart Anki every time. So you can just X out of that once you've done it. So that's how easy it is to get add-ons. Now, each one of these add-ons, I should tell you, first of all, this image occlusion is probably the most important one you're going to get. it's a card type, so it's going to allow us to actually block out parts of an image so that we can guess what's there. It's really useful for medicine. Actually, it's useful for all diagrams, no matter what faculty or subject. It can be useful in humanitarians as well. So it's not just about. It's very useful for anatomy. It's the one I find it most useful for, and also chemical reactions and stuff. The one we just got is a progress bar, so we're gamifying our study. There's going to be a progress bar at the top, and you're going to oh, I'm so close, or I'm so far. We're just gamifying your study to really hack your brain into wanting to study, or at least being a bit addicted to it, Almost like scrolling on TikTok, trying to do that to your brain here. That's why I love this so much. It's literally a game. You're gamifying your study. More overview stats is just going to show you how many cards you have left. I feel like the base Anki overview isn't enough. And on top of that, we're going to get more deck stacked and time left. The reason we get this add-on is because everyone asks me, how long do I have to study for a day? Well, it's going to tell you here, based off your average cards per minute, it's going to tell you how many more minutes you have to do your Anki review. So that makes it easy. Don't have to ask me for that question anymore. I get asked that all the time. It's my number one most hated question because I don't believe you should be quantifying your study with time. I think you should be quantifying your study with how many tasks you get done, but that's something for another module. I think I'm going to make a full guide on that. Part of like mindset mastery. This fifth one we got, which one was it? Custom background and image, self-explanatory. Make it look cool, feel cool, perform cool. That's usually how it goes. Looks aesthetic, you're probably going to want to actually study. And this last one is one of the most important. If you're in this community and you're using Anki, I do not want to see a grey day. Yes, you might have a day that's grey because you don't have to do any reviews, but you shouldn't. I want to see no days grey. So this literally would tell me, I want you to do a screenshot of this, and it will be able to tell me how much you're using Anki. So from the day you get it, don't want to see a day grey. It's literally like a habit tracker for Anki, using it every day. And what's cool is a day that you can change the color, of course. It shows you your streak, your daily review, your daily average, and also days that you use it more, it's going to be darker of the color, and days that you don't use it as much is lighter of the color. So I can really tell when you're slacking off and when you're not. But that's something that I want to use, and also you can compete with other people in this community to try and make sure that you have the longest streak or whatever. My streak's actually restarted because I deleted Anki. Mine was like a couple 100 days, and now mine's restarted because I'm showing you guys. So we're all starting on an even playing field. Hopefully you guys can beat me as well. That's what you should be aiming for. Cool. Review Heatmap. Cool. So once we do that, all we're going to do now is X out of Anki, and we're going to open it back up. Please put it in down here. Oh, notice how it's really different. Now, just before we get started, we go to the next part because the add-ons are on. This is the progress bar. Now notice how I've got no cards, so the progress bar is full because I've got nothing to do. I don't know why. This must be, I think I've got a glitch in mine. It's saying that I've 6%. That's a bit weird. But if you want to reset your thing, you can always, like, for example, I'll do it for like the 28th of the 12th, and it will do that. I don't know why mine's like that. Anyway, no activity to show. Yeah, because I haven't studied at all. So this is what Anki is going to look like. This is your more deck stats and time left. This is your more overview stats down here. So that's two of them. You've got progress bar. You've got review heat map here. You've got custom background and image. And then image occlude will be in the cards here. So you will have maybe some other cards here. I've actually deleted them. So if I was you, I would just focus on basic, close, image occlusion, enhanced. Don't worry about it. We're going to get into that soon. So one more thing before we get on to making cards, making your decks is go into Anki up here, custom background and gear icon. Now, you can click down here and there's a YouTube tutorial from the guy who actually made this add-on so he can teach you how to use it. So don't stress. But one thing I will recommend, please put the opacity down because when you have white text with your flashcards, you cannot see. So please put it down, and then I'm just going to change mine. I don't like this is his logo. I don't like that. You can, for the girls, you can put flowers there and stuff, make it all cute, whatever. For the boys, you can put, I don't know, a footy ball, a soccer ball, I don't know, a dragon, but I'll just be going with the gears. And you can put your own cool backgrounds. I actually have some really cool backgrounds,
which I forgot to back up and put on my desktop. So now I've completely lost them. But I'm teaching you guys how to do this, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so moving on. Next, I'm going to show you how to do your decks. It's going to be a bit more like actually teaching you what to do now rather than installing it. And this is where you need to start really listening up. So this is where your transformation properly starts, because now we've downloaded Anki, I'm going to show you how to use it. So please focus up here. Any questions you have, please write them down. This is where you're going to start having questions, so write them down. Let's get into it. Cool, so add-on downloaded. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actual important stuff, decks. So I'm going to pretend that I am me going into year 12, exactly what I was doing. So actually me going into year 11, because I was doing more subjects in year 11. So let's delete this default deck. Actually, no, you can't. All we got to do, so down here where it says create deck, we're going to start making decks. Now, these decks, obviously, the decks have your flashcards in it. Two types of decks I like doing. Now, I didn't do this through school, and then I taught someone else to do this, and then they did better than me. So I'm teaching you stuff that I wish I did in school, and I still did pretty well. I think I could have done even better if I had done some of the little, I guess, changes I am going to teach you. So 2 decks for each subject. So for example, let's start with physics. You're going to have physics theory, and you're going to have physics questions. Now, more on the questions deck later in part 2 of this system, which is past papers. Basically, theory is where all your flashcards are going to go, like the actual ones you make from your notes, the one not from your notes, the ones you make from your lectures or lessons, right? Questions are, let me go onto THSC. So this is past paper website. For example, say this is physics. This is year 10 maths, but let's pretend it's physics. Don't think this is going to be nice to me, is it? Let's go. Okay, let's go year 11 physics. Cool. Pretend. So in the questions deck, what you're going to do? Okay, it's not letting me open it. Let's pretend I can open it. So you're going to get a question, and you're going to say it's a question that you either got wrong, that was really hard, that wasn't a silly mistake, or even was a silly mistake, or a question that you got right that was still pretty hard and you want to learn. You're going to screenshot it, and the front of the card, so if we go here to add, the front of the card is going to be the question. The back of the card, scroll to the answers, screenshot the solution, and put the solution or the answer at the back of the card. Or also at the back right, like what your mistake was when you first did it. And then every week you're going to do a review of, Saturday, Sunday night, do a review of questions. So you go to all the question decks, for example, this question deck, and then you're going to review the past paper questions you're getting wrong. People ask me, how do I get rid of silly mistakes? Well, if you make an Anki deck with questions of all your silly mistakes, and then you do them every week, then you start remembering why you had that silly mistake. So for example, this math question, say it's a calculus question. The silly mistake was X. Once you start doing that in Anki and you start seeing it, it says what your silly mistake was because you wrote it there. Every time you go to do another one of those questions, you literally think, you're like, oh, okay, I remember this. I always make a silly mistake with this question. What was and then you remember the mistake, and then you just don't make that mistake. Like, it's that easy. That's how you like iron out those silly mistakes. That's my best way to do it. So question decks and theory decks. We're focusing on the theory decks here. So that's kind of it for decks, really. Like, I'm going to do physics and chemistry. We're going to get more into subject specifics later. For example, like English, it's hard to use this for English study, but everything else, it's pretty good. But we're going to get into that later. Don't worry. So that's a bit towards the end. That's not too important. So I'm just gonna do physics. I'm just gonna pretend we're just gonna do physics. So cool. Now deck settings will come later. Deck settings aren't too important, to be honest. So you have up here in deck settings, you don't need to touch any of this stuff, guys. If you do want to touch your stuff, this isn't something I'm going to teach you because it's so advanced and you don't really need it. YouTube can help you with this stuff. Now you can have easy days. For example, in here you can like make a new preset. You can work the stuff out. You can have easy days where, for example, if Mondays you're really busy, you can have reduced amount or that sort of stuff. But I don't really do that. And this all depends. So maximum reviews a day, I would only put that to 10 times whatever your new cards is a day. I would start on, it's depending on you, like whatever you want to start at. It depends on how many cards you reckon you can do new per day. Now, new cards per day aren't how many cards you'll be doing per day. This is how many cards you'll be doing per day plus this. So this plus this is how many cards you'll have to learn per day. Now, you don't see each card once per day. You'll probably see it a couple of times before you actually get it right. So just bear that in mind when you have the number. Bear that in mind. But a lot of you might not even have 250 cards in a certain type, in a subject. Like for math, you won't have that many. So don't stress too much about deck settings for now. It's something that you can optimize, and I'm going to help you optimize later on. But deck settings aren't the be all and end all. What is having, for each subject, have questions and have theory. As long as you can set that up right now, either while I'm speaking to you right now, if you haven't already, or before you look at the next module, please set that up for each one of your subjects. Maybe not English, because English writing essays with an Anki deck is hard, but still do it anyway. Why not? Just do it for all of them, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, make sure you get all of your subjects in here, 2 decks each. And also know that when we make decks, like for example, for physics, this is based off HC physics, by the way. I know that mod 5 for HC physics is, actually, I don't remember what it is. I think it's like, I actually don't even remember. So I don't even remember, don't worry. Okay, mod 1, pretend there's different topics. Watch this. Cool. We have now subdecks. This is very important, using subdecks. Cool. And then if you want to get really into it, like there's different topics in different modules. You can do topic 1, topic 2. I don't really like doing this. I think modules is enough. I think topics is probably too much doing that. But if you want, you can. I wouldn't. Basically what that means is you can either study just module 1 physics, or you can study all of physics. It's up to you, depending on what tests you have. So yeah, it's pretty good. You can do decks within decks, which I think is sick. So next I'm going to teach you actually how to make the cards for it, which is probably the most important thing. So let's get straight into that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make cards. This is very important. So I'm going to give you an example using Newton's laws, because that is physics. That's probably the most fundamental thing in physics. So I'm going to show you how I'll go about making a card using Newton's laws for physics. So let's click up here on add. Just let me tell you what these things do. This will get you back to this screen. Add is going to do add cards. You press browse, and that's where you're going to be able to edit cards. I'll show you that in a sec. Stats is just going to show you random stats. You don't really need that. And sync is going to help you sync it so that if you want to save your cards or also have them on your phone as well. But let's get straight into how I would add cards. So click on add. It's going to open a new window. Please, oh my God, the amount of times I've chosen the wrong deck and I've realized. You can always fix that up, but just don't do that. So let's pretend that Newton's laws were taught in mod 1 of physics, which makes sense because it's the easiest thing. So let's go into here. Now, let's go here. I've searched up Newton's first law. Search up Newton's first law. I'm just going to bring Anki. Yeah, I'm going to bring this over here just for a sec. So Newton's first law. Pretend this is from your textbook or from your teacher. So cool. Front of the card. Back of the card. Cool. If you want it bold, you can have it bold. If you want colors, you can have colors. Like that's all for you to decide. I'm not going to tell you what to do there. Okay, let's just move this out of the way. I can make it not bold. I can make it bold, whatever. You can make it highlighted. You can do lists as well. Like I can even do like dot point lists. I can do numbered lists. I can change the indenting. I can also, what's really cool is what I'll do now. You can put photos. You can put images. And all you have to do, the best thing about it, which I love, you don't actually have to. Okay, I think because I'm recording, I can't. No, I can. You can just right click, copy image, and that's it. Command V, there you go. And what's even cooler, you can put YouTube videos in there as well. But the coolest thing I think for science especially is you can put GIFs or GIFs, whatever you want to call it. So let's just do a pendulum because that's Newton's first law. Look at that. Copy image, like this is sick. You know, it's really cool for chemical reactions. You can put YouTube videos and GIFs in there and little clips. I think it's pretty cool. That's my first card. Now, there's 3 card types you can use. Notice how this is basic, by the way. I didn't tell you that. This is basic. You can have basic, you can have close, you can have image occlusion enhanced. For each concept, I want you making 3 cards. Now, I can't, again, I can only give you recommendations. There's no one size fits all way to use Anki, but as long as you are utilizing each of these 3 card types, basic, close, and image occlusion enhanced, then you are fine. No matter how you do it, you're fine. So I'm going to show you how I would do that for Newton's first law, and then I might even put in the second and third law and even show you how I would do a group of laws and just give you some examples. And if you're ever looking for inspiration on how to do your Anki cards, that's the whole point of this community. I have a whole like subreddit, like subsection of the chat of the community just called Anki. So if you ever want to talk about Anki, which I love doing, which is pretty sad, but I love this thing so much. This basically shouldn't even be called High Achievers Community. This should just be called like the Anki cult, because that's what this is. But if you need to have some inspiration, then there's so many people in this community that can help you out, and I can help you out as well. And I can share decks with you just for some inspiration as well. And I'll show you some of my shared decks as well after this. I'm probably going to show you my decks in a sec to show you how I did them, and I'll show you them in action. So that's a basic card. I might do that now actually, just while I'm doing it. This is going to be probably one of the longer videos. Maybe, I'm not too sure. So that's basic. Let's press add. Make sure it's in the right deck in Mod 1 Physics. Oh, yep, Physics Theory. Add that. I'm going to import my organic chemistry deck. So this is how you can just easily import a deck. And if you ever want to export a deck, you literally just you click on the gear. It's that easy. Cool. So this is my organic chemistry deck. You can rename it. So this is the basic card. Look at this. Now this is the spaced repetition, the active recall. We're going to get into this stuff later. Don't stress. These are all basic cards because it's front and back, front and back. These are closed cards because notice how there's stuff like closed out. It's like fill in the sentences. That's a closed card. And then my favorite, which I'm going to have to spam this for a sec. Sorry guys. My favorite is image occlude, which is so good for science. It's actually so good for everything, not just science. These are all closed cards and basic cards. Image occlusion, you can block out part of an image, and then yeah, you tell Anki how good you are at it, and it shows it when you're good at it. Notice mine's really high for some reason. My deck settings are off. Don't copy my deck settings. I'm going to have recommended deck settings probably after this one, like in the next module, just like not even a video, just telling you. But also, if you want recommended deck settings, this is where you guys we're in a community, so you guys talk to each other as well. So yeah, this is Anki in works. I got 97 in my chemistry internal mark, and this is what I used to study for it. I did not do notes. I just did Anki and I did past papers. And yeah, this is my exact organic chemistry mod 7 HSC, like organic chemistry deck. So if anyone wants it, I'm happy to chuck it up. Cool. Nice. So back to adding cards. Next one I want to do is a close card. So I'm going to go Newton's first law states that. And then we put the pendulum on the back of the card, the back of the close, and put the image as well. Newton's first law states that. So the front of the card is the whole card. The back of the card is just extra information. So you can have like, one of 3 of Newton's fundamental laws of motion. That's just on the back. Like we're not trying to guess that. That's just like helping us in the end or whatever. Change to close. Now, you need to listen up here because this is where I had to teach myself this and it gets really confusing. So the way close works is we have to use things called close deletions. Now, close deletions are used with these 2 buttons up here. Now, the one with a plus is going to add a new close deletion with like a new card, and this one is going to add same card. Now, how that works is, for the first one, you can click either buttons. This is a close deletion. It's got 2 squiggly brackets. It's got C1 with the dot dots. Now, the 1 changes. That's depending on which deletion it is. Ones with the same number are part of the same close deletion. So, Newton's first law states that. And then we're going to add a new one here. And I'm not going to press this because notice how if I press that, that does the same one. So I'm going to press this. Now this is going to make 2 cards. This is going to make 2 cards, both with this same back. This is just extra, by the way. You don't even need to worry about that. But it's going to make 2 cards where one of them is going to be this blanked out here with ... And this next one is going to be this blanked out with ... That's close. Cool. Now image occlusion for this is not going to be very useful because of whatever. So you know what I might do? I might do Newton's second law because it's a formula. I don't know. You can still use closed deletion for this topic, but I'd rather do it like for this. So cool. Let's just grab this. Copy that image. You're going to go up here, image occlusion enhanced, image, paste. Now I'm going to write in the header, Newton's second law. I'm going to right click on occlude image. It's going to open it up here in a new window. Now this is where the occluding happens. Now you have so many different options here. You can blank out the whole thing. So what I would do is I'd do each one individually, and I'm going to show you how to group them all together. So what I would do is this. I've just picked this tool here. You can do different shapes as well. You can also write on it, but I wouldn't do that. Force, acceleration. So firstly, what I'm going to do, never press this button here. This is how you make the cards. Always press this one, hide one, guess one. Please don't press hide or guess one. It sucks. Genuinely sucks. So first of all, I want to group together. So I'm going to group that together. What I did there is I clicked on one and I'm holding shift. I'm clicking on the others and I'm pressing G. Alternatively, you can right click and press control right click and press G, group and ungroup, but I just press G. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Now I'm going to press hide one, guess one. Cool. That's it. There's so many different ways you can do this. Like for example, you can, like I could do them all individually if I wanted, but I'm not going to do that. I could do maybe force and force together. I could do mass and mass together, and I could do that and that together. Cool. Like that's something I can do and keep those like that. Cool. That's image occlusion. And then yeah, you can just press close, and then you don't need to press add. Don't press add. You can just press close. So that's it. I've showed you how to make all the 3 card types very basically, but I've showed you how to do it. Cool. So now you can use Anki. Like now you're sweet, but no, I don't want that. But I'm going to show you how to use it even better now. So here I'm going to go into mod 1 physics or physics. Notice how it pops up for both because mod 1 is in physics theory. I'm going to study it. Notice how I've got 1 due today and 1 due tomorrow. Now, this is what I love about Anki. Notice how we made those 2 closed cards. What Anki is not going to do is it's going to not going to show you both of the closed cards on the same day. It's going to show you one of them today and one of them tomorrow. Because why would it show you them both on one day when you already know the answer? It's going to literally use spaced repetition already to show you it tomorrow. Newton's first law. This is the basic card. You can either press show answer or press spacebar, whatever. But I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to show you how to review next or after the deck settings, after you look at my deck recommendations. So that's how to make cards. That's how to add cards. Next, we're going to get into more how to actually use the cards and where to go, how to review, what your routine should look like, all that sort of stuff. All right, we're back at Anki now because I'm showing you actually how you're going to use these question decks. So physics questions, I've got my deck here. I've got the 2024 physics HSC exam. So let's pretend I'm going through this as a past paper. So I'm doing this past paper one night and I get stuck on, let's do a really easy one. Let's say I get stuck on this easy talk question. Cool. So let's go to the answer. Let's have a look. Let's just screenshot it. Just like that. Go to Anki. Add a card. Probably want to make it a basic card. Front is going to be that. Make sure your deck is your physics questions deck. Then we're going to go to the answers. And we're going to put in the solution. So we're going to go like that. And then we're going to write my mistake was, so what your mistake was. Now I usually do it in red because red is like a mistake. mistake was that I don't know, what's something that you can do wrong in talk? Forgot to do the angle. I forgot to use the angle. So instead of doing, I don't know if you understand physics, instead of using sine theta, I just didn't do it at all. Cool. Forgot to use the angle. I'm going to add that as a card. Now, this is very easy. Now, I'm going to tell you when to do this, like later down in the practical implementation module. Basically, at a certain time every week or whenever you can do this, when you're doing your past paper like questions review, you're going to go here, do the deck. You've got this. Get a bit of paper, do the question. So while the front of the card's here, you're going to do the question. Calculate the answer, whether this is a math question in like a math subject in chemistry or physics or math, biology, or like a word question where you have to write out a word answer. Doesn't matter, same sort of stuff. And then you literally just, there you go. It tells you your mistake. And you think, oh, that's a mistake I made last time. Good, I didn't make this mistake again. And then again, depending on how easy it was, you can go again, hard, good, easy. If you got it wrong, you can press again. And you can do it again in 1 minute if you want. If it's easy, press easy and it's done. Do that for all the hard questions you get in past papers. That's how you're going to get rid of your silly mistakes as well. So any silly mistakes, I'd put in there as well. And even if you wanted to, you can make silly mistakes a different color to hard questions and all that sort of thing. That's completely up to you. I'm giving you this system as a whole, and you can tinker it and customize it wherever you want as well. But that's pretty basic. That's how you do your question decks. Okay, so now that we've taught you decks, add-ons, like how to make your cards, now it's actually how to use Anki. So deck settings as well. Your daily reviews should look like this. For example, we've just made these cards. So this is what it should look like. You should already have some cards here to learn. Let's say that today we don't have any. So when you get home from school, the routine, I'm going to teach you that later. That's going to be later on in the whole big study system. But when you are reviewing, you need to literally just click on the deck. Study now. Watch the progress bar, by the way. Space bar or show answer. Now you can either click on them or you can click 1, 2, 3, 4. I just click 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 is hard. 1 for again. 2, 3, 4 on your thing. But so, say I'm really good at that. But basically, let me show you how you're supposed to do it. So when you're reviewing the card, it's active recall. So Newton's first law. You think to yourself, what is Newton's first law? I can't remember. That's it. Read it, internalize it, press, probably for me, I'm going to press hard. Now, here, that's force and that's acceleration. Cool, that was good. Maybe it wasn't easy, that was good. What states that an object at rest remains at rest, or if in motion, remains in motion at a constant velocity unless acted on by a net external force? Pretty sure that's Newton's first law. Show answer. There we go. Cool. And notice how the back of the card was that. Now the second close is not going to show until tomorrow. That was easy. So I'm not going to see that for another 24 hours, one day. That's force and that's F. Cool. Remembering the formula, that was easy. That's, I don't remember. I'm just pretending, by the way. I think so. Maybe sometimes I forget that formula. Force, mass, acceleration. Cool. That's good. I don't know. So you can really start judging yourself and how good you are at these cards. Let's say I suck at that. That's again. Now it tells you when the next card is ready. There's 6 cards due later today. Good. So that's what I like about this. Due today, right now none. Tomorrow we've got two total cards. I'm going to tell you what these numbers mean. So new is new cards. Like this, cards you haven't done yet, like those 9 that we just made. Learn are cards that you haven't really pressed easy on. As soon as when you press easy on something, it turns from a learn card to a due card. But before when it's new, it's the first time you've seen it. And when it's learn, it's between the first time you've seen it and when you press easy on it. And then when it's easy, it'll be due. And if you have a card that's due, so this is red and this is green. If you have a card that's due and then you press again hard or good on it, it'll then go back to a learn card. So you can be really good at something and then forget it and go back to it. So I love it. It's such a good system. And notice how it had 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 1 day. I press 1 day on one of them. When I see that tomorrow, it's not going to say 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 1 day, because I'm already good at it. The software, Anki, knows I'm good at it. So why would I want to see it again in 5 minutes? It's going to tell me maybe 2 days, 5 days, 7 days, 1 month. So that's how it works. Spaced repetition. It's going to like automatically do that for you. So I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'm just going to sit here and wait till my cards are due. Now, how this works is, I say, there we go, pop back up. That's how it works. Like it'll pop back up and see how it tells me how much study I have to do. Apparently I can do all of these cards in 10 minutes, which is not true, but that's because I went really quick through them. Now, my goal, my rule, notice how I've got 100% days learned. I've got my blue thing here. My goal or my rule for you is you have to have 0, 0, 0 on pretty much all of your decks if you can by the end of each day. Notice how I had 0, 0, 0 before, but then a minute later I don't. I mean, by when you go to bed that day, it needs to be 0, 0, 0. I want you to press easy on all your cards, hopefully, by the end of each night, if that makes sense. That's what an Anki review is for me. A daily review is getting to 0, 0, 0 by the end of that night, meaning that a card's not going to pop back up. So right now, for example, study now. Again, I don't remember it. I'm going to press again. Yes, I'm at 0, 0, 0, but I do have another card popping up in 1 minute. So technically that's not 0, 0, 0, if that makes sense. That's how I do my reviews. So I'm going to wait. Maybe I'll go for a walk, have a break, do some past papers even. And then after that, I'll come back, do the rest of the cards, and then that's it, done. That's your daily review. So what you're going to do is you're going to get home from school or uni. You're going to make cards. I always make cards. That's my most important thing. You can usually make your Anki cards during lectures or during school lessons. And then you're going to get home and do your Anki reviews. After you've made cards, do your Anki review. Anki review is both doing the new cards and also doing the learn cards. Doing all your Anki cards is your Anki review. And why I love it so much is when you make your cards in your uni lesson or on the day of your uni lesson, that works as your first initial consolidation. And then if you don't skip your Anki, from there on, you won't forget that concept. You'll learn it that day, make the card on it. And if you're consistent with Anki, you don't forget that concept. I love it. It's so smart. You don't forget what you learn, basically, if you do it properly. So obviously you've got to tinker your deck settings and that sort of stuff with it as well. But that's how the reviews work. So I'm going to wait for this card to pop back up again. And then we'll go from there. So that's literally it. Nothing much else to it. That's Anki for you though, guys. Yeah, we've got 3 here. Wow, we've got 3. I don't remember anything. Oh, Newton's first law. Okay, I remember this. I'm going to think about it in my head. Yep, cool. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, no, I'm just making it up. Even though I do know this, I'm going to press easy. Cool. That's easy. Acceleration and mass. Oh, let's not do that. Mass. Cool. Done. Congratulations, I've finished. My next card will be ready in 1 minute. Well, I'm not done for the day. There's 3 learning cards due later today. I'm not done for the day. This is what I mean. You have to be done for the day. Once it says 0 due later today, we're done with that deck for the day. That's how Anki works. Now, it seems like a lot, but I promise you it's not, because first of all, it tells you how long you have left to study. 11 minutes isn't much. And also, you're not going to have many cards. If you trust me, like once you're learning this stuff, 1 card won't take you that long. Like it doesn't actually take you that long, I promise you. So half an hour a day, pretty much max, really. And the best thing about it is you need to start now. What I love about Anki is when you learn a topic, you then keep studying it basically forever until your exam. So there's no, I started studying 2 weeks before my exam. We're starting with Anki. We're starting when you learn that thing. So people ask you, when did you start studying for projectile motion, which is in physics? Well, I started studying when I learned the topic, because that's when I put it in Anki. That day is when I put it in Anki. So that's how you do your cards.
There we have it, guys. That is our Anki tutorial done and dusted. One last quick thing I wanted to show you guys. If you go into Anki and go to preferences, you can actually change the theme from light mode to dark mode. Now, this sucks. Don't use light mode. Use dark mode, please. It makes it so much easier. And that's it. As I've said before, Elite Achievers, if you want to literally have Anki decks made for you, so you don't have to make them, hop inside Elite Achievers. If you want literally to not spend hundreds of dollars a month for tutoring and spend literally $65 a month, literally $2 a day, get taught every single subject, daily support, multiple live weekly calls, mindset, productivity, performance, an elite study system, literally everything. We even have a Discord server, Anki decks, all math levels, all sciences, humanities, every single thing. 99 ATAR mentorship, literally insane. Check the link in the description and you can join Elite Achievers. Other than that, have fun using Anki.